The family's car was crushed between two trucks on Highway 23, and the 22-year-old food delivery driver who pulled over to help wasn't supposed to know how to stop arterial bleeding. But Maya Chen had delivered thousands of meals in her 2 years as a driver, and her hands were steady for a completely different reason. Because 18 months ago, those same hands had saved soldiers' lives in combat zones. What happened in the next 12 minutes changed everything. Welcome to Stories Between Us. Before we begin this powerful story, please tell us in the comments what city you're watching from today, and if you believe stories like this need to be heard, hit that subscribe button to help keep these stories alive. On a rainy Thursday evening in March 2025, Maya Chen was finishing her shift in downtown Riverside, Oregon. At 22 years old, standing 5 feet 3 inches tall, with long black hair usually pulled back in a ponytail, she looked like any other college student trying to make ends meet through gig work. Her beat-up 2018 Honda sedan had seen better days, but it was reliable enough for food delivery. The back seat was organized with insulated bags, napkins, and condiment packets. In 2 years of driving for a food delivery app, Maya had delivered over 3,000 orders, maintaining a perfect 5.0 rating through polite service and punctual deliveries. "Thank you. Have a great evening," she said with a genuine smile as she handed Mrs. Patterson her usual Thai food order. Most customers knew her by now, the friendly Asian girl who always arrived within the delivery window and never forgot the extra soy sauce. What they didn't know was that Maya's calm demeanor and steady hands came from training that had nothing to do with food service. Hidden beneath her college sweatshirts and delivery uniform was the disciplined bearing of someone who had served in places most people couldn't imagine. 18 months ago, Maya had been Specialist Maya Chen, Special Forces Ranger Unit Medic, recently returned from her second deployment in Afghanistan. At 8:47 p.m., Maya was driving north on Highway 23, heading home after a successful evening that had earned her $127 in tips. The rain was getting heavier, and traffic was moving slowly through the construction zone near the Millfield Bridge. She was singing along to her playlist when she saw the brake lights ahead suddenly flash red. Then came the sound, the horrible screech of metal on metal, followed by the devastating crash that every driver dreads. A silver minivan had hydroplaned in the wet conditions, sliding sideways directly into the path of 2 semi-trucks. The impact was catastrophic. The family vehicle was completely crushed between the massive trucks, steam and smoke rising from the wreckage. Cars were pulling over, people were getting out with their phones, but Maya noticed something that made her blood run cold, a dark puddle spreading rapidly beneath the wreckage. That wasn't just water or oil. That was blood, and a lot of it. Her military training kicked in immediately. Multiple casualties, probable severe trauma, remote location with delayed emergency response. This wasn't a fender bender, this was a mass casualty event. Maya pulled her Honda to the shoulder and grabbed the medical kit she always kept in her trunk. It wasn't the basic first aid kit most people carried. It was a full trauma kit with combat tourniquets, hemostatic agents, and chest seals, equipment that had no business being in a delivery driver's car. Maya approached the wreckage with the systematic assessment she had learned in special operations training. The minivan's driver's side was completely crushed, but she could hear voices from inside, panicked, crying, but alive. "Help us! Please help us!" A woman's voice, high with terror. "I'm here," Maya called back, her voice calm and authoritative. "My name is Maya. I'm trained to help. Can you tell me who's hurt?" "My husband. Oh God, there's so much blood. And my daughter, she's not moving." Maya squeezed through a gap in the twisted metal and saw the situation. The father, unconscious in the driver's seat, had a severe laceration on his thigh, arterial bleeding that would kill him in minutes without intervention. The mother had a dislocated shoulder, but was conscious. In the back seat, a girl of about 8 was unconscious but breathing, with what appeared to be a head injury. Other drivers had gathered around the wreckage, but they stood helplessly, unsure how to help. "Does anyone have medical training?" someone shouted. Maya was already moving. "I do. I need everyone to step back and give me room to work." Her hands moved with practiced efficiency. First, the arterial bleed. She applied a combat tourniquet to the father's leg with the precision of someone who had done this under enemy fire. The bleeding stopped immediately. "How do you know how to do that?" asked a bystander, watching Maya work with obvious professional skill. Maya didn't answer. She was checking the father's pulse, airway, and breathing. Stable, but unconscious. She moved to the daughter, gently checking for spinal injuries before assessing the head trauma. "Is she going to be okay?" the mother asked desperately. "She's breathing and her pupils are responsive," Maya said. "That's good, but we need to keep her very still until paramedics arrive." What amazed the gathering crowd was Maya's composure. While everyone else was panicked or recording videos, this young delivery driver worked with the calm efficiency of a seasoned emergency responder. "Ma'am, what's your name?" Maya asked the mother while applying a sling for her dislocated shoulder. "Jennifer Williams." "This is my husband Mark and my daughter Sophie. Are they going to live?" Maya met her eyes. "I've stopped your husband's bleeding and your daughter's vital signs are stable. You're all going to be okay." But Maya knew they weren't out of danger yet. In her assessment, the father likely had internal injuries, and the daughter needed immediate CT scans. They needed professional medical care fast. Sirens could be heard in the distance, but Maya continued working. She started an IV on the unconscious father using supplies from her kit that made bystanders wonder what kind of first aid training a delivery driver could possibly have. "Miss, are you a nurse?" asked Tom Bradley, a construction worker who had stopped to help. "Something like that," Maya replied, monitoring the father's blood pressure. When the first paramedic arrived, Maya immediately began giving him a professional medical briefing. Adult male, approximately 40, blunt force. Trauma to the chest and abdomen, severe laceration to the right femoral artery, tourniquet applied and effective, blood pressure 90/60, pulse 110. The paramedic, Dave Martinez, stared at her. "Who are you? That's a perfect trauma assessment." "I'm just someone who was in the right place at the right time," Maya said, stepping back to let the professionals take over. But Dave wasn't convinced. The tourniquets, the IV placement, the systematic assessment. This wasn't basic first aid. This was military-grade combat medicine. As the family was loaded into ambulances, all three conscious and stable thanks to Maya's intervention, several witnesses approached her. "That was incredible," said Sarah Kim, who had filmed part of the rescue. "Where did you learn to do that?" Maya was packing up her medical kit, trying to avoid attention. "Basic first aid course in college." But Tom Bradley had taken a closer look at her equipment. "Miss, I was Army infantry for 6 years. That's not a basic first aid kit. Those are combat tourniquets, military-grade hemostatic agents, and field surgical supplies." "Who are you, really?" Maya looked around at the crowd of people staring at her with curiosity and admiration. She had successfully kept her military past hidden for 18 months, living a quiet civilian life as a college student and delivery driver. "I just wanted to help," she said simply. The next day, the local news ran the story. Food delivery driver saves family in highway crash. Sarah Kim's video had already gone viral on social media, showing Maya's professional medical response. But it was Dave Martinez, the paramedic, who connected the dots. He had seen combat medics work before, and Maya's technique was unmistakable. "Maya Chen, 22, Riverside State University student," he said to his partner while reviewing the incident report. "But I'm betting that's not the whole story." He was right. A simple internet search revealed the truth. Specialist Maya Chen, Special Forces Ranger Unit, had been awarded the Combat Medical Badge and Bronze Star for valor during her deployment to Afghanistan. She had been medically retired 18 months ago after an IED explosion left her with hearing damage in her right ear. The story spread quickly through social media and local news. Army hero turned food delivery driver saves family, read the headlines. 3 days later, Maya received a call from Jennifer Williams at the hospital. "Maya, this is Jennifer. You saved my family. Mark is going to make a full recovery, and Sophie just woke up asking about the nice lady who helped her." "I'm so glad they're okay," Maya replied. "But I have to ask, why didn't you tell anyone you were a war hero?" Maya was quiet for a moment. "Because I'm not a hero, Mrs. Williams. I just did what I was trained to do. The doctors said if you hadn't stopped Mark's bleeding when you did, he would have died. If you hadn't stabilized Sophie's spine, she could have been paralyzed. I'm just happy I could help." But the attention was overwhelming. Maya's delivery app rating had jumped to legendary status as customers specifically requested her for deliveries, hoping to meet the hero driver. A week after the accident, Maya was delivering to her regular customer, Mrs. Patterson, who had seen the news story. "Maya, honey, I had no idea. Why are you delivering food when you're such a trained professional?" Maya sat down for a moment. "Mrs. Patterson, after everything I saw overseas, I wanted a simple life. Delivering food makes people happy. It's peaceful. I get to see the same friendly faces, help people enjoy their evening meals." "But don't you miss the excitement, the importance of what you did?" Maya smiled. "Every day I deliver food, I'm choosing to create small moments of happiness instead of responding to crisis. That feels important too. And now I know that my training will always be there when someone needs it. But I don't have to live in that world every day." Maya Chen still drives for the food delivery app around Riverside, though now many customers know her story. She started volunteering with the local paramedic service on weekends, using her skills to train other first responders. The Williams family visits her monthly, and Sophie always asks to see the magic bag that helped save her daddy. Mark Williams made a full recovery and now advocates for better first aid training in schools. Jennifer started a scholarship fund for military veterans pursuing education. Sometimes heroes don't wear uniforms or carry badges. Sometimes they carry insulated food bags and drive beat-up Honda sedans, ready to save lives between dinner deliveries. And sometimes the most important missions happen on random highways, not in war zones. Do you think there are hidden heroes in everyday jobs all around us? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this story moved you, like and subscribe, because stories like this remind us that heroism comes in many forms. With love from Stories Between Us.